Hello, beautiful. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this in a reasonable time. I haven't been in here. I haven't actually made a video. I have discovered since the last new moon, which was 28 days ago. This is a phenomenal time. And I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about why, what to do, how to maybe avoid some things. I'm going to talk to you about the new moon in Gemini and some which is tomorrow, the 27th in Ireland, UK at 4 a.m. and the 26th. I think it's 11, just after 11 p.m. Eastern time, so it'll be 8 p.m. East Pacific time. So wherever you are in the world, go and adapt that. But it's a beautiful new moon, and it's a really happy one. It's uplifting. It's community. It's about communications, and it's a very lucky one. But there's so many phenomenal things happening this year. I want to talk about that now. I want to talk a little bit about how it's been affecting me. And actually, I have not been working for several months. I've been studying and I have been planning and I've been wondering whether I'd give everything up. I actually really felt like walking away from everything. Now, you may be feeling that as well, and it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. It's basically now is a kick-ass time to get out of our own way and to do what we're here to do. It's a huge moment. This whole year is big and it's fast, but right now is powerful. So basically the new moon is happening in less than, I don't know, whatever time you're watching this, it's on the 27th, as I said, Irish UK time, early in the morning, or the 26th, wherever you are. And the Gemini is about communications. It's about short distance travel. It can be about the way we communicate with people. It can be about neighbors and friends, and it's very sociable. It comes together, and there's a lovely energy in it. And it's like, you know, it's the twins in astrology. It's coming together with your other half, or it could be a beautiful date night actually tonight. But moving forward, it really gives a sense of something new beginnings, and mostly because, in fact, actually, Mercury is conjunct the sun and the moon. So the sun and the moon are conjunct together at every new moon, and it's when we can't see the moon. It's black, it's dark, and but Mercury is there as well. Mercury is very close to it, and so Mercury rules Gemini. So Mercury is about communications and everything as well, and technology type communications. But so as the moon moves into fullness, we set our intentions at this time so that as the moon moves into fullness, we can feel and work with the energy of manifestation to allow things to happen and come to fruition. So I'm going to make a meditation, and I'm just going to channel it. It's going to be whatever comes into my mind, and I'll post it here after 4 a.m. so it'll be the second half of this video. I won't put all of that in together because some of this I want you to know beforehand, and I don't want to post the meditation until the time, because we always set our intentions after the new moon, on or after the new moon, so that we're in that new cycle. So it's at 6 degrees, or just 6 degrees in a couple of minutes in Gemini. And at the time of this full moon, what's been happening that's extraordinary this whole year and is still unfolding is that all of the outer planets, so that is Pluto, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Jupiter, have all, or will all, move into 0 degrees of a new sign. So some of these are very long. Pluto moved into Aquarius, and Pluto has roughly 16 to 20 degree year in each sign, and it's just moved into Aquarius in January of this year. Neptune moved into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, about 6 weeks ago, 6 or 7 weeks ago, and Saturn has just moved in to 0 degrees of Aries with Neptune. Neptune is at 1 degrees. Saturn is at 0 degrees. It's just moved in 2 days ago on the 24th, I think. And the two of these being conjunct almost together at the first degree in Aries, the first or second degree in Aries, is so powerful, and it hasn't happened for over 12,000 years. At the beginning degrees, the two of these moving in at the same time. It is phenomenal time in history, but not only that, Jupiter is going to move into Cancer on the 9th of June. Uranus is going to move into Gemini. I think that is around sometime early to mid-July. And Pluto is already in Aries. So those are the 5 outer planets. The 5 outer planets reflect kind of the world stage. It's all affecting us, but it's affecting everybody at the same time. So what people are saying, I'm not an astrologist. I listen to the astrologers, and then I intuit and get downloads of what people need to hear, what people need to do. And basically, you know, I make these guided meditations. I don't have a script, I just allow it to come through. So I'm going to post that guided meditation later on. Today I'll post it for the time of the new moon. So all of these moving in is going to it's setting up the stage for a whole new world. Now, some people are worried. There's a lot of talk about, you know, the end of the world. If it is, it's the end of the world and we know it, but I feel fine, quoting, what is it, Coldplay, but it is, I feel like it's the beginning of something really new and something extraordinary. At the moment, manifestation works. We all know manifestation works, and it works on our emotions. And you may be sensing, I have certainly seen it, that manifestation is happening faster. There was more of a gap between what you're feeling and it happening, but it's happening faster and faster. So the only thing that stops us from manifesting what we want is our lack of belief or our lack of clarity in what we want. We might keep changing our minds, or we may not believe it's going to happen, or if we worry that something else will happen instead. This is all keeping things from us. So you want to be able to manifest using an open heart and feeling really good about what you want to create, and knowing that you're moving towards it in a lighter, you know, positive, letting go of all of the blocks, letting go of all of the limits, and taking your foot off the brakes, basically, and being who you want to be in this life. And, you know, manifestation, we're equally manifest negatives. We equally manifest dramas, and you know, we self-sabotage ourselves, and we might manifest an illness when we want to go and talk at an event, because basically deep down we might be frightened. That's one of the ways this can happen. But you know, because things are happening really, really quickly, we need to get out of our own way, so we're not going to manifest the negative things that we want to manifest where we're going, with an open heart. I'm going to be talking more about that. I almost left go of all of this. So for those of you who don't know me, or who don't know this about me, is I've changed careers basically every 8 years or so of my life. I keep moving into different things, and I get bored with one, and something else comes along. And quite often my tendency has been, up until now, to burn everything down to the ground and start something completely new again. But now I'm seeing how actually they're all coming together. So I started out as an artist, and then I went into dress designing, and then I went I went into sort of commercial type graphic art long ago, long before computers, so it was hand done everything. Then I went to be a dress designer, and I designed and created wedding dresses and bridal sort of occasional wear. And then I went into being an artist, and I just continued with that for 8 or 10 years. And along the way, being a mother as well, and that basically has been the biggest chunk of my life, and it's always been the most important and the most rewarding part. Now my children are needing me less. except for one who's going to be around for quite a bit, I think. But and so then I went into hypnotherapy, and I went into mindset and manifesting and card reading and the woo side of life. But what I've really felt that there was a big shift, and you may be feeling that big shift as well, because that's what the energy is feeling right now. That's what we're feeling, because we're about to move into such a whole new era and a new awakening. Get really clear about what you want. I started painting again recently, and if you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting little bits of, so it's just Glenys.Trinder on Instagram. I've been posting some of my drawings. I've been working in charcoal. I have been playing with paint a bit, but I'm really only making a complete mess with that right now. But it's been 10 years since I picked up a paintbrush, and I painted and did art all my life in some way. So, I'm at the playing stage, and I will do that again. But I have a big dream, and my dream has been for a long time, because you know that I read cards. I want to create my own deck, and that has been put on the long finger. And I haven't allowed myself to paint because I've been stuck in work, 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 do, struggle, struggle, pushing, forcing, overgiving, overdoing, and all of the things that I work with people on hypnotherapy for. I realized in the last couple of months I was falling into every single one of the pitfalls that I help people out of. And it forced me to stop and step back and look within. And I have come up with so many ideas and so many insights, and I'm beginning to feel that excitement again to create something new. So this is what this whole energy is about right now. And with this new moon, with that kind of Neptune and Saturn in the first degrees of Aries right now, at the beginning of this new moon, 2 days before the new moon, Saturn moved into Aries. That is really giving. Saturn is like the granddaddy, or the kind of, it's really giving us this responsibility. It's the kick up the bum, basically, to make us do things and to take action, to kind of keep everything, not only to take action, because that's a sort of a Mars kind of an energy as well, but it's more like do everything in the right order, or take responsibility. It's the real big responsibility planet. Responsible for your actions, responsible for what's turning up in your life. And that's actually something that I ask my one-to-one clients when I'm interviewing them. And I shouldn't be saying this in case any of you might consider being a one-to-one client, but I won't work with anybody unless they are 100% willing to be responsible for everything in there that happens in their life, because we're manifesting all the time. And it doesn't mean that anything is your fault, or you're to blame, or that whatever whole or difficult situation if you got yourself into that is your fault. It just means that you have manifested that. But where it gives you power to know that is that you can, if you have manifested that, you can also manifest your way out of it. You can also change it around. And basically everything that triggers us, or everything that comes up that's difficult in our lives, is a sign that we're on the wrong track, and that we need to look within, go deep within, and see, and to clear and to release. Now I'm ranting on for 15 minutes about that, so I'm hoping, look, I'm just going to post this anyway, because I think this is important right now. But this new moon, and moving forward for the very soon, from now onwards, basically, June is going to be fast. July is going to be huge, and it's getting faster and faster, that energy. So we need to be in control now of our own lives. Be in control. And what I will urge you to do before the new moon, tomorrow, tonight, wherever, is to get really clear about what needs to change in your life. It took me 4 months of going within and doing a bit of work to get really clear on what I wanted and what I don't want. but that's because I didn't have anybody helping me along doing it. I did it myself, and that's, that's the slow way of doing things. So if you want to make changes and make them quickly, follow me along, because I'm going to be working on this. I really feel, and I mostly work with women. I am not averse to working with men. A lot of the men that I have worked with, which is very few actually, have had a very strong sense of their own femininity. Um, and and I think I understand women because I am a woman, and I know the sort of issues that we tend to get stuck in. And women also that I work with tend to be carers or empathic, um, and we tend to get stuck and be stuck in our own way from overgiving, overdoing, putting everybody else's dreams first before your own. And that's what has to stop now. This is your life. You're living in this life at this particular point in time, which is absolutely and utterly stunning. It's the most important time in history, and you're here to take part in this. You're here to do something, to create something important. Whatever that is, get clear about what it is. We're all creative. We're here to co-create our own lives. Whether you're in a creative career, or whether you just know that you're a creator, that you want something different, new. Don't wait. Do not wait anymore. Okay, that's all I'm going to say there. Get clear on what it is. Journal. I like to, if you've been following me on Instagram, I did a little post today, which is much shorter, to just explain how I do it. Just, light a candle, take out your nice paper, put on some soft music in the background, get dreamy, or maybe shut out all music, just sit and be quiet. Sit for an hour, sit for half an hour, sit for 10 minutes. What can you do? Just sit and shut out the noise, and just be aware what's coming next. What do you need? What do you want? Journal on it, write it down. What would you love? I'm just going to read some cards. I'm going to read some tarot because they're the first set that came into my hand, and I'm going to read some cards moving forward. What do we need to know right now? And then when I'm finished, I'm just going to, this is the last thing, so I'm just going to read some cards. So I'm thinking of you, whoever you are. What do you most need to hear right now? And I'm going to finish it there. I'll put them into 3 piles, and I'm taking the center pile, and I'm going to read from the top of that. So we're really near the end of an old time, definitely. Ooh, 2 nines actually, which is very interesting. Something in the background, love that. I think it's almost everything what I have been saying. Very interesting. Okay. Just going to get a couple of clarifiers in case. So in the past, so this is the 2 of the 3. It's the number 3. It's the I'm after losing my frame of thought now. She's the Empress. The Empress. It's the 3rd of the major arcana cards. And I love these cards. There's a little bit of gold on them, and they're sort of Art Nouveau, but they're really, they're beautiful. So she sort of represents Venus as well. So she's loving, she's sensual, she loves her life, and she loves nature. She recognizes that she's part of nature, that she's part of the earth, that she is here to create abundance in whatever way, and she's so well able to do this. So this card is in the past, so there's a knowingness, I feel, from us to know that we can do all of this. We came here from another dimension. Maybe you're a starseed, maybe you come from the Palladians or the whatever, but maybe you've just been here in another time, because we all have, I do past life regressions on people, and I so much goodness comes out of that. So I'm completely aware that we've all been somewhere else before, and it's like our highest self. This card is depicting your highest self is coming true now to remind you of who you are and who you need to become. Okay, so that's in the past. Now, it's really interesting that there's two nines here on either side. So this card represents us right now and how we're feeling, and it's the Nine of Cups. So cups are about our emotions, and it's like now there is a surprise coming. I feel that we've been through a tumultuous time, and it might be that some of you are kind of feeling angsty, tired, frustrated. It's like there's so much kind of been going on over the last several years, and it's like that there's almost like a waiting. Will this ever be over? Will we ever move through this phase? But nines are sort of telling you that we're almost there. It's very close. But there's also a beautiful surprise to come. The sort of really good surprise. And on the other side, which is about the situation. So this is us, and this is about the situation. Now I feel that this is us as well, because and the times that we're in right now. The Nine of Swords is like sleepless nights, worry, but it's unnecessary worry. It might be that you're stressing about things, stressing about money, stressing about getting everything done, stressing about working harder. How are you going to cope? How are you going to do this? It might be that something is waking you up during the night. Now, I've been like that. I've been like that for the past several months, and I feel on top of the world during the day, but at night time my dreams wake me up, and they wake me up with a panic. My heart is beating like a drum, like I've had some dream that I can't even remember, but it's woken me up, and it's left me kind of awake for maybe several hours, kind of going over everything and everything. So if this is you, this too will pass. This too will pass, and we're very much at the end. Nines is endings, and it's kind of because there's a good surprise coming. I feel that, and this is all in the now state, that basically we're looking at probably worst case scenarios. We're unnecessary worry, basically. But when you're in that state, remember you're manifesting from that state. Now, luckily for us, and in the past, manifestation has been slower, and with lower vibrations as well. When you're looking at something that's happening that's of a lower vibration, you don't manifest the negative as quickly, because it's on a lower and a slower vibration. However, it is stopping you manifesting what you do want. So when you are changing your frequency to a higher vibration, that happens faster. But when you're on a lower vibration, you're blocking things, basically. So this is just telling this unnecessary. And in the center of the two of these cards, we've got the Chariot. Now the Chariot is the second major arcana. There's two major arcanas in this reading, and it's right underneath her. It's right underneath the Empress. So the Chariot is like, it might feel like there's a struggle, but it's actually fast. There's something happening really quickly. It's like the energy of now is really, really quick. And it's that kind of, we've got here the two Sphinx, we've got black and white, and it's sort of like they can be kind of fighting for different directions. So it might be that there's a bit of confusion. We want to look over here and there's fear. Or we want to look over there and it looks better. We might be, struggling on what way to go, and we're being pulled from one side to the other. There's also a feeling of duality in this, and I do feel that we're moving through a time that had so much duality, but that's going to come to a close, I feel. Duality is only going to create war. Duality is division, and we've been sort of forced to look at duality, black, white, blue, red, from religion, from where people are from, the color of their skin, from their belief systems. There's never two sides. There's always a third side. So if you could imagine that anything that's stable needs to have three sides. at least. Okay, so if you had a stool, you know, it won't stay up with those two sides. If there's three legs, it'll stay there. But with anything, there's always a third side. So if somebody is, you know, forcing you, you know, you can't say this because you're going to offend somebody, you can't say that, be somewhere in the middle. What we need to do is bring ourselves up to our highest self, to be able to rise above it. And that's another angle, that you're neutral. You're neither one nor the other. You're just curious, and curious is the best way to get through this. Being curious about what is happening, that you're not in fear, and that you're not in worry or in a lower vibration, that you're just curious about how it can get better, because I guarantee you it will. Now, this also feels like something is happening very fast, really, really fast. And underneath that card, so this is in the now, this is in the past, the Empress, and that's the energy that we want to remember. This is in the now, and directly underneath that, we've got the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups, you know, what we need to do moving forward is to get in touch with our higher emotions. We need to be able to raise our own frequency. We need to be able to look at, what am I feeling today? You know, what's on my mind? Am I struggling? Am I overwhelmed? If there's any negative feeling or vibration, we need to make it neutral. We need to kind of look at it. What is this telling me? And just be curious. Just by being curious, you can actually reach a higher vibration, because the lower vibrations of shame is the lowest. You know, fear is just above that. Anger is above that again. And there's kind of, you know, maybe pessimism. We're getting higher. But when you get to curious, curious is the middle between the lower vibrations and the higher vibrations. And if you could only just get to curious, I mean, obviously if you can get to love or abundance or bliss or gratitude, but some days you can't feel grateful when you're in a slump, okay? But if you're curious, you can get to curiosity. If you can just be curious about what this is trying to tell you, or curious about how it could get better, curious about how things can get better, will give your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that will go on a search for more. So if you're curious about how something will get better, your brain is going to give you instances, and things are going to come into your mind about how it can get better. Whereas if you're focusing on what will go wrong, your mind is going to keep coming up and showing you all of the horror stories that can go wrong. But when you're curious about what could go right, you'll start to notice that your vibe is getting higher, and then you just keep going up. I'm going to be talking more about this moving forward, because this is my big, like this, I'm really good at helping people do this. I'm really good at changing vibrations really quickly. So I'm going to be talking more about how to do that. But this is near future. Near future, we're going to have to really work on this. And on either side of that, we've got two fives. Now this, this is, fives can be tricky. Fives can be but they're temporary. Fives can be, unstable energy. Five is midway between 1 and 9, which are the single digit numbers. So in numerology, a 5 is the center. And if you look at a 5, it faces this way and it faces the other way. It's kind of like, that sort of energy. And it can, so this can, 5 of swords on one side. Swords are about thoughts and ideas. That can be kind of conflicting ideas and thoughts, and everybody has an opinion and it's all mad. Okay, and this is 5 of cups, which can mean that our emotions are going to be triggered. And he is he's walking away from everything, because he's just not, things have been kind of uncomfortable, I suppose. He's walking away, but actually 3 of these cups are broken or down, or have fallen, but there's still 2 cups that are upright. And I think this card is kind of telling us that we need to keep looking for what's still going well. stop looking at what what we need to release and let go of. What can we make of this? And actually, that's just reminded me of how I felt in the last few months. I just wanted to walk away from everything. I wanted to just, I don't know, walk away and start something completely new, which is what my pattern has been all my life. But actually, I've noticed, no, I don't need to walk away from everything. I know how I can change this to make it better. And I know how I can do more of the things that I really want to do. I know how. So this is something in the near future that we're all going to be triggered with. We're all going to be triggered with, or faced with, I suppose, not triggered with. So we need to really be um, our own guides to move forward. So this is, while this might be temporary arguments or temporary shocks and surprises, this feels like thoughts and ideas and words and stuff are going to start coming out. There's a lot of energy this month about shocks, surprises, hidden things that we're going to be faced with. Again, remember, you know, to stay away from right and wrong, calling out evil and calling out good, and just be in that neutral place, and be so where we can have compassion for ourselves, compassion for anybody else, and being neutral and curious. And these are both very temporary. So I've chosen two other cards, as well as so we've got more cups here. I've chosen two other cards, and we've got the Four of Cups, which is, the tendency to kind of, something goes wrong, or we don't want something to be, a certain way, and it's almost like a sulkiness, kind of, or not wanting to look at something because you feel that everything is ruined. But actually, where is the next cup? The cup is here. Look, the universe is handing out a much better cup, and we need to be able to let go and release what's not working, which is actually what I started talking at the beginning of this video. Releasing what's not working, releasing where we have in the past allowed ourselves to go down or to feel not right, releasing that, because there's something so much better. And the other card that came out with that is the Sun, which is another major arcana. And actually, I just think the Sun cannot be badly aspected. The Sun is freedom. It's, it's kind of like a victory march to something better. There's something better happening. The Sun, it's light, it's bright, it's celebratory, and there's a sense of innocence coming back as well. Like there's a child here, and it's a naked child, but it's not it's not a salacious picture. It's kind of like freedom. So it's like that part of us, the child inside us, that wants to, to be free, to just be ourselves, to be unashamedly you, to just be able to celebrate being you. So on that note, and with these cards, I feel today, check out, and if you're watching this in the future, this is the 26th of May that I'm posting, but if you're watching it moving out, you can still do this moving forward, because this energy is going to be around for a while. But check in with what you really want, really truly want. And I'm working on creating something, and I've got the most amazing freebie that I want to do with people, and it's something that I've always sold in the past, and I want to give it as a gift because I think everybody needs it right now. And it is about that. It's creating something, just creating something new, and being able to do that. And I feel what we need to do is really allow ourselves to dream, and to dream big. And if you could do anything, you could be anything, if you could have anything, and it's not so much the thing, it's the emotion. What's the feeling? What do you want to feel? If you're at the end of your life, you're on your deathbed, are you going to feel grateful and thankful that you had the life that you came here to live? Or are you going to feel disappointed that you didn't get to do something? Dream about that now. And I will be posting in a few hours or whenever for the new moon. So tomorrow maybe. I'll be the next part of this video will be the meditation that you can just listen to, and it'll be particular for this new moon. So, love you lots. Um, have an awesome day and an awesome week and the beginning of something absolutely spectacular. Bye for now.